A giant triangle of lights glided over Arizona again. 21 years after the first Phoenix lights shocked the world. This time, the sky was clear, the city was awake, and cameras were everywhere. But no one expected what the footage would reveal. Tonight's video follows the strange return of one of America's biggest unsolved mysteries, and how the 2018 sighting made the truth harder to ignore. What if the strange formation seen in 2018 was not a random event, but part of a pattern that began in 1997? When the original Phoenix lights appeared, thousands saw a massive triangle glide over the city. It moved slowly. It made no sound. It ignored every rule of known aviation. People described it as otherworldly, impossible, and bigger than any plane ever built. The military said it was flares. Witnesses said it was one connected craft. And for years, the truth stayed buried under arguments. Another detail from the sighting made investigators pause. Several witnesses said the lights didn't just move. They seemed to shift in brightness in a pattern. Not random shining. Not flickering like damaged bulbs. The lights brightened and dimmed in perfect unison, almost like a slow heartbeat. In the 1997 sighting, some witnesses also reported a pulse coming from the lights, but back then, it was dismissed as shaky camcorder recordings. In 2018, the footage is clear. The lights brighten together, fade together, and hold steady again. That kind of coordination would take extreme precision, far beyond what civilian drones or hobby aircraft can do. One man in Glendale said the brightness felt almost intentional, like the formation was signaling. His neighbor, who filmed from her porch, said the lights seemed to react to movement below, brightening when cars passed, dimming when the street quieted. No one can prove that part, but the idea haunted people who watched the video frame by frame. Why did this giant formation leave no trace on radar? After the 2018 sighting spread online, reporters asked the FAA for answers. They checked radar logs. They checked scheduled flights. They checked private aircraft routes. Nothing matched. There were no planes in that exact airspace, no helicopters, no military activity, no weather balloons, nothing. Radar should have detected an object that large, but the radar screens stayed empty. This wasn't the first time radar failed to detect a giant craft. In 1997, Air Traffic Control also reported nothing unusual. Two massive events, 2 decades apart, and not a single radar hit. Then came the surprise twist. A retired FAA employee reviewed the witness footage and made a chilling comment. If radar didn't see it, the object either absorbed the signal or never reflected it. Absorbing radar is rare. Only advanced stealth technology can do that. But even stealth aircraft make noise, and they don't glide the length of a city at walking speed. The mini-climax arrives here, the silence. Witnesses said they heard nothing. No wind, no engines, no chop from blades. It was as if the air around the craft didn't move at all. So the next question grows, how does something that large move so quietly and completely avoid radar? In 2018, after the sighting made headlines, reporters contacted Luke Air Force Base. The response was simple. No operations were carried out at that time. No test flights, no training, no exercises. That left locals with 2 options, neither of them comforting. Option 1. A huge aircraft passed through Arizona airspace without clearance, without flight lights, and without communication. Option 2. The object wasn't military at all. And then came the eyewitness pattern that made the story even stranger. People described the lights as too smooth, too even, and too perfect. They weren't shaking like flares, drifting like lanterns, or blinking like planes. They were fixed points on something larger. A man in Goodyear said the lights were the size of street lamps, lined up on a giant frame. A woman in Mesa said it floated like it was controlling gravity. A father walking with his kids said the bottom of the craft swallowed the stars. The mini-climax hits. With dozens of videos, multiple angles, and hundreds of witnesses, the object behaved like one connected piece. Not flares, not drones, not aircraft. One piece, one shape, one silent giant. Which leads to the next question. Why did it appear again, in almost the same place with almost the same shape? What if the 2018 sighting was a test, or a reminder? To understand why this idea scares so many people, look back at the 1997 event. The Phoenix lights stretched over hundreds of miles. It wasn't seen by one group. It was seen by entire towns, entire families, entire highways full of people. The size and reach of the 1997 craft made it one of the most documented UFO incidents in American history. Now look at 2018. This time, the lights didn't sweep across the whole state. They appeared in clusters. They came in shorter bursts. They showed up above smaller areas, almost as if something was scanning, checking, or observing, without revealing itself fully. Witnesses said the lights dropped lower than before, that they hovered longer, that they stayed brighter, as if the object wanted to be seen, but not close enough to identify. Then comes the mini climax. One video from Glendale captured something chilling, the lights shifting slightly, as if turning toward the person recording. The movement was slow, controlled, intelligent. And then, the lights blinked out. Not like they faded, not like they drifted behind clouds. They vanished, gone. Why did so many witnesses describe a feeling, not just a sight? Humans react strongly to strange lights. But what people felt in 2018 was unusual. Many said the air felt heavy. Some said they felt watched. Others said they felt calm, almost drawn to the lights. A family in Phoenix said the craft felt alive, as if it was studying the city below. These reactions mirror the reports from 1997 when people described the event as peaceful, hypnotic, or beyond human. No panic, no fear, just a strange sense of awareness. The mini-climax forms when researchers point out that these emotional reactions happen in other mass sighting events. It suggests one of two things. Either the brain struggles to process something outside normal experience, or the object itself creates a physical or psychological effect. That idea raises the final and biggest question of all. If the 1997 and 2018 events match so closely, the shape, the silence, the movement, the radar invisibility, the emotional effect, then what exactly is returning to Arizona's skies? Here is the detail promised at the start. It comes from a 2018 video recorded in Goodyear. When enhanced, the lights reveal a pattern that is almost identical to a formation diagram drawn by a 1997 witness. A witness living 30 miles away and separated by 21 years. The angles match, the spacing matches, the size matches. 2 sightings, 2 decades apart, 1 formation. That leaves a final line. If it wasn't a plane, wasn't military, wasn't flares, and wasn't random, then something in Arizona's sky is repeating itself. And whatever it isn't finished. If this mystery kept your mind turning, feel free to like the video so more people discover it. And if you enjoy deep dive stories about strange events, hidden patterns, and unsolved cases like this one, consider subscribing. New mysteries drop often, and everyone is built to make you think long after the video ends. Share this with someone who remembers the 1997 Phoenix lights, or someone who needs to know they might have returned.